Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Sunday Zoom call. I hope everyone has had a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the mothers out there. We appreciate you. So, guys, this evening's call is specifically related to the Zones group. Okay, some of you may know it as the Gold Scalping Analysis group, some of you may know it as the Zones group. But I believe that this call is very well needed to give you guys the clarity that you need to really simplify this group. We believe that there's a huge opportunity to see some great results from this group, but there are some key elements that you have to understand. I believe that this call will clarify and simplify them for every single person. And I believe that after this call, those of you that are unsure as to how this group works and how you manage your trades here will be a lot more confident moving forward with what to do. Okay, so first things first, let me share the screen so that you guys can see exactly what I can see. Now, first, I want to give you guys a little bit of context. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about why this group was originally created, what we observed over time, and some key changes that we decided to make this week. Okay, now first things first, this group was created around 12 weeks ago. Okay, so at the end of 2025 is when we decided to create this group. Now, the reason that this group was created was due to how the gold market had changed. Okay, 1 year ago, gold was not the same asset that it is now, especially when it comes to trading it in the financial markets. It's significantly more volatile, which can mean more risk, but this can also mean more opportunity. So this group was not designed as a traditional signals group. So as you guys will know, we have one group where the signals go. Okay, the signals are XAU USD buy now. They have TP 1 to 5 and they have a stop loss. Okay, those are signals. This is the scalping group, otherwise known as the analysis or zones group. So this group was not designed as a traditional signals group. This group was built for traders who want more market insight. This was built for traders who want a better understanding of price behavior. This group was built for traders who want more control over how they execute their trades. The goal for this group was to build an awareness of the market. This group was not designed to be dependent on. Okay, when I say dependent on, what I mean is that this was not designed as a signals group where you are relying on fixed parameters such as take profits and stop losses. Now, initially, when we built this group, we had a style, okay? But as the group became so popular, we wanted to make it simple for the masses to follow. But what we actually observed over time is that the group started to feel like a buy now, sell now environment, exactly the same as the signals. That led to a fixed target expectation. Many of you are looking at the targets as areas that you expected the market to go. And this was actually causing you more problems than benefits. There was a massive reliance on the instructions. So previously, when this group was initially built, there were no targets given. The experienced traders were closing the trades when they were comfortable and happy with the profit that they made. If they felt like the market was moving in their favor, they might hold it, or they may exit the trade when they saw some profit. But what we noticed over time is that there was a heavy reliance on instructions, and that's never what this group was built for. Okay, now the risk is that traders were becoming reactive instead of developing decision making. Remember, we have a signals group where we specifically say buy or sell now, and that's where you should focus if you are new. This group is for people that want to develop the behaviors that we're speaking about now. We realized we were unintentionally creating dependency, and that's not what this group was for. So we decided to make some key changes. Change number one is that we are giving the zones ahead of time, okay? This is really important, and I'm gonna pull up TradingView soon so that you guys can see exactly what I mean, okay? Because then you will understand on the charts exactly what it is that I am referring to. So let me just pull up what I was reading. So the first change we made is giving the zones ahead of time. What we noticed when we were saying buy zone now or sell zone now, imagine if you're someone who has kids, you're working in a busy environment, or you just have a demanding schedule. Your phone is in your pocket. Maybe it's on the desk. You get a notification. You look at your phone. It says buy zone now. You unlock your phone. You open MetaTrader 5. You then go to press buy after finding gold. By the time you've done all of that, which could take 30 seconds, target one has already hit. You enter that trade out of fear of missing out, and then it just goes completely against you. This is the risk of buy zone now and sell zone now, okay? Even in the signals group, we like to give you notice where possible. So what we decided to do is give the zones ahead of time. What this means is more preparation, okay? It means that you can execute your trades as you planned to, okay? Rather than jumping in the trade through panic or fear of missing out, you know what to expect, you know the zone that you're looking for, and you have time to prepare. It reduces emotional entries because you know what we expect the market to do. That means that you are better positioned to plan your trades and structure them correctly instead of out of urgency. The second major change that we made was moving away from fixed targets. Okay, the markets are very dynamic. The focus now is on getting the reaction that we wanted from the zone so that you can make profit, whether that's 20 pips, 40 pips, 60 pips. It's going to change every single time. And it's important that you develop an adaptive trade management plan based on market conditions. Don't wait for us to say plus 20 pips, plus 30 pips. Secure profit when you are comfortable with the overall blue number, okay? This is to encourage market understanding as opposed to rigid instruction, okay? What we're trying to do is help develop you into adopting the behavior that will help you become consistently profitable over time, because we believe that the gold market has changed. We've seen the evidence, and like we said, this provides major opportunity. Change number 3 is that we have more zones, okay, and also a broader context, okay? What that means is that in certain scenarios, we will tell you what we are looking for and what we see in the zone that we are trading. For example, some of you have asked, what does order block mean? We're mentioning there is an order block at this price, and this is where the market can react from. Some of you are asking, what's an order block? Okay, and I'm going to tell you on this call. So we're giving you more information to work with so that you can plan your trade better, so that you won't be surprised if the market reaches those areas. This helps you manage your risk and helps you to give better decisions in real time so that you can manage your trade smarter, and it will then allow you to expand your view of the market. Now, the overall intention of these changes is to evolve your trading behavior so that you can have long-term confidence, long-term skill, and long-term consistency with your profits. The guidance remains the same. We're giving all of the same information, if not more, to help you be more independent, more competent, and make better decisions. Okay, that's what all of these changes are about. Now, what I'm going to do is pull up TradingView and give you guys examples in real time, okay, of what you guys can expect to see and what you have seen. So let me just get rid of some of these things on the screen now. Okay, perfect. So let me share the screen so that you guys can see TradingView. Okay, so here we have TradingView, and I want to give you guys an example of some of the prompts that you may see. Okay, so tomorrow morning, you may see something that says buy zone. Okay, then you see the price. We are going to enter at that price. Okay, so for example, let me draw a line. Let's say that the market opens and we say buy zone at 5,004. Okay, so exactly where I've just drawn this line. So let me write the coordinates. Buy zone at 5,004. Okay, so let me make this blue so that you guys can see, nice and big. Perfect. So buy zone 5,004, and then the end of that range maybe 5,000. Okay, this is an example. Okay, so 5,000. Let me change the coordinates to 5,000. Now it then may say SL/invalid is 4998, for example. Okay, so let's draw another line at 4998. This time we're going to make it red, okay, because this is going to be the SL/invalid. Okay, and I'm going to come into how you can actually manage these shortly. So let me just widen this so that you guys can see that there is actually some space between these areas. Okay, let me bring this down here so it's in the same picture. Perfect. So buy zone at the given price, in this example, 5,004 to 5,000. SL slash invalid is this red line, okay? Then we may use the term further area to hold, okay? And then we might say order block at a certain price. And this is where we can see price react. Now, for those of you that are interested to know, okay, you could go on the indicator function and type order block, okay? This is the exact thing that we use to see order blocks. An order block is an area where we can expect the market to react from. For example, here, this big green box, do you see how price bounced off of this area, okay, from 5,009 all the way to 5,025. Here is another order block, okay? Can you see how price reacted from that area? Here is another order block. Again, can you see how price reacted from this area? If we look back in time, another order block. Can you see how the price respected this area and reacted from it all the way down? Look, from 5128 to 5,060, that's 600 pips, okay? So these are order blocks. Order blocks are very, very strong areas, okay, where we can see the market react. So these are examples of what is an order block. So for example, okay, let's say for example that we say this price here, okay? Let's say for example that we're looking at a sell. So this might help you guys understand. We might say sell zone, and we might give the price as, let's say 5,010 to 5,014. Okay, so we might say 5,010 to 5,014, which is here. So we might say sell zone for these prices. We then may say that there is an order block at 5118 to 5121, okay, because price may reverse before the order block, okay? But if it doesn't, then there's a high possibility that it will react from the order block. So that lets you know how to plan your trade. So we might say sell zone 5109 to 5114, okay? We might say SL slash invalid at 5115, okay? Now we then might say that there is an order block at 51, for example, 17, okay? Where we can see price sell from. This is exactly the type of thing that we would say in the zones group. So that lets you know that if you enter at 5109, you may be in the trade until 5117. Okay, that's where you might see the reaction. So in this example, let's say we enter in this zone, but look, it came up to 5117 where the order block was, and it gave a perfect reaction, and look how much it sold from that order block. Okay, but sometimes price may not reach the order block, and we don't want to miss the move. Okay, very, very important. Now, with regards to the SL slash invalid, okay, our strategy is largely centered around the 5-minute candle. So for example, let's say that we entered a buy in this zone. Okay, let's say that the candle specifically that we are looking at is this one. I'm going to highlight it with an arrow. This green candle here, okay? Can you guys see this wick? Okay, this isn't real. Okay, this is fake. This is not the real price. This is a 1-minute wick shooting down to grab liquidity. Now imagine the buy zone was 5032 to 5027. Now, strictly speaking, this zone here is respected. Why? Because the 5-minute candle has closed above the zone. Okay, but a wick, which usually lasts 1 minute, maybe 2, has come down to 5019. Okay, so that's 80 pips below the zone. It immediately pushed up and went all the way to 5064. Okay, so from 5027 to 5064 is nearly 300 pips. But for 1 minute, it wicked down into this area and came straight back up. This is an example of how gold can behave during this market. And that's why we use SL slash invalid, because for the people that don't have the confidence or the knowledge or experience yet, you should just use the fixed stop loss, okay? Use the price as a stop loss. But for those that have more experience, we can give you the information that there's an order block here, there's a reversal point here, and you can use that information to help yourselves to make an informed decision. Okay, now in terms of some of the terminology that you can expect, okay, we say zone approaching around 20 to 30 pips before the zone is reached, depending on the speed at which the market is moving. The reason we do this is so that you can prepare yourselves. Okay, so zone approaching will help you prepare. So let's say you are living a busy life, you're looking after the kids, you're doing whatever you're doing, you have a busy schedule. Rather than buy zone now and then you have no time to react, we're saying zone approaching. This gives you a warning. Be ready. pay attention to the price. When it comes to the zone we are entering, okay, now on certain occasions, we may say you can enter now. If we don't say it, it does not mean you cannot enter. Okay, let me make that clear. On certain occasions, we may say you can enter now. If we don't say it, it does not mean that you cannot enter. Okay, we are going to enter every zone that we put out into the group. Okay, now, of course, if price starts moving 100 miles an hour out of nowhere, then we would probably take a back seat and we would not enter. And we would expect that the experienced traders do the same thing. Now, if you're looking at this information and you are thinking, I have no idea what's going on, tomorrow, I do not want you to place trades from the zones group. Let me repeat that again to make it clear. If you are looking at this information and you are thinking, I have no idea what's going on, that's completely fine. Once upon a time, I didn't understand any of this. It takes time. It may sound like I'm speaking a different language. That doesn't mean you're thick. That doesn't mean you're slow. That doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means you might be new. I was new once upon a time. If you told me 7 years ago, order block, zone approaching, all of this stuff, I wouldn't have had a clue what you're talking about. That's why we have the signals group. Because if you're new and you're a beginner, the signals group is your home. That's where you should focus because it says buy now, sell now, TP, SL. This is for the experienced traders. So if you don't understand this yet or you're not confident, then just avoid taking trades from this group. It's okay because the last thing you want to do is get yourself into a mess and end up losing money because you didn't understand. Now, in regards to the targets, okay, you can hold the trade until you are comfortable. You take profit when you are comfortable, okay? Very, very important, okay? Very, very important. So you then enter when you can, okay? And close profit when you're happy. Now, I was just looking at one question. Now, the last key feature that I want to mention is regarding layering, okay? Now, the secret to layering is that your entries must be spaced out exactly the same because the last terminology that you may see is overall profit, okay? Now, bear in mind, and again, the question that someone asked, the reason that is important is because they said something actually that said, the only thing I struggle with is when you said you can enter now. That is the problem. Don't wait for us to say you can enter now because by that time, remember, the speed at which this market moves, when we see that you can enter now, we're typing it and then we have to send it. It might be 10 seconds before that message comes to your phone. In 10 seconds, it's in a different place. So if you are waiting for us to say you can enter now, you shouldn't be taking trades from this group, okay? If you are waiting for us to say you can enter now, that means that you shouldn't take trades from this group, okay? Now, my layers personally are 20 pips apart. The way that you can ensure that they are the correct pips apart is very simple. Let's say you're using a 0.1, okay? If you see your first entry minus 20, you enter again because that means it's 20 pips apart. If you see your next entry at minus 40, that means you enter again because it's 20 pips apart. Very, very simple. Okay, so if you're using, for example, a 0.05, if you see minus 10, then you can enter again because it's 20 pips. If you see minus 20, then you can enter again because it's a further 20 pips. Okay, because on 0.05, 20 pips is going to be $10 in your favor or against you. Okay, so that is how you layer effectively. I do up to 3 layers per zone. Okay, and then I will take profit when I'm happy. Okay, I wouldn't do buy or sell limits because the market is moving too fast for that. But if it works for you, then it works for you. There's no right or wrong way. Okay, great question. Someone said, how much before price comes to our zone is it okay to enter? For example, if it's a sell zone at 50.16, is it okay to enter at 50.15.50? Great question. So let's map this out. Someone said if the sell zone is 50.16 to 50.22, is it okay to enter at 50.15.50? Absolutely. I'll enter a zone within 10 pips. Okay, if it's within 10 pips, me personally, I'm happy to enter. This zone here, this price is 5 pips away. So I'm personally happy to enter in that scenario. Okay, now I'm going to try and look at some of the questions that I believe are going to be valuable for everyone. Do I layer the same way with the signals? Yes, I layer in exactly the same way. Let me see if there's any other questions. When are you happy with the profit? Great question. What I am happy with and what you are happy with is going to be two very different numbers. Okay, it can depend on so many different things. It might depend on how I'm feeling at that exact moment. So what's happy for me and happy for you could be something completely different. Only you can answer that. I can't answer when you are happy with the profit. But what I will say is that in this zones group, 9 times out of 10, what you will experience is that when you took a stop loss, it pinged straight back. And that's why we say the experienced traders, they will be comfortable, okay, to manage their trade in real time and maybe close their profits manually when they are not happy, okay? But what I'm understanding from these questions, okay, yes, someone said, if you're a beginner with not a lot of money in your account, should I stick to the signals group instead of the zones? Yes, 100%. If you are a beginner, then you should stick to the signals group and not the zones, okay? Now, what I can gather from a lot of these questions is that many people are not yet ready for the zones group, and that's okay. I want you to understand, you're not missing anything out, okay? We're not going anywhere. We're gonna be here for years. So if you don't feel ready for this group right now, it's okay. We're gonna be here in 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. We are still gonna be here. So if you don't feel ready and comfortable to trade in this group right now, that is okay. Don't rush yourself to trade in this group. Don't get yourself in a mess to trade in this group. And what I really want to communicate to you is that there is no science to managing every trade. There's no one size fits all. I wish there was, it would make it way easier, but the market behaves differently all the time. And it's just down to your experience, what you've seen in the past, and how you've realized your habits as following these zones dictates your behavior, and that will ultimately decide what you do in a trade in real time, okay? So someone said they made 20K last week just taking profit, even when half the trades were still in the red. Yes, because I'm looking at the overall number, okay? So someone said, when you say 30 pips profit, sometimes I wait to get more and it comes down to hit SL. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that you're waiting for, you're waiting for something that might never come, okay? Okay, this is a really, really, really good question. How long would you hold a trade past invalid? Very, very good question. Okay, now, unfortunately, this is not a question that has a fixed answer. It all depends on what is happening with the price, where the market is, and what area in the market we are in. What I will encourage you to do is use the fixed stop loss, because you cannot get hurt using a fixed stop loss. Okay, you should manage your risk correctly and you cannot get hurt, because with the invalid zones, okay, it may fly 500 pips past it. And if that's the case, you will blow your account. So the best thing that you can do, if you don't have the experience, you don't have the account balance to hold it, is to use a fixed stop loss. Now, unfortunately, we don't have time to go through all of the questions, but here's the last great question that I'm going to go through. Can you give an indication about where you expect the buy zone could go? i.e., is it going to be 40 to 50 pips, or is it going to be a potential bigger move, so we have a better idea of whether to hold or close quickly when in profit? Shall I tell you why that's such a good question? Because that is the market. You don't know is the answer, okay? No one knows anything. Everyone is guessing. It's based on probabilities. No one knows anything. But what I will tell you is this. This group is called gold scalping, okay? Typically, a scalp is 20 to 50 pips, typically. That's what the definition of a scalp would be, okay? Anything bigger than that, you're looking at an intraday trade, a swing trade. A scalp is 20 to 50 pips. By definition, that's what a scalp is. It's in and it's out, okay? So we're gonna continue tomorrow. I'm gonna post a recording of this call in the next 10 to 15 minutes. I wish I could answer all the questions. Unfortunately, I can't, but I will do my best on the next call to go through the most important questions that people have asked. I will also share the feedback form. And if I see on the feedback form that the same question is being asked 50, 100 times, then I would address it in the group to try and share as much value as possible. So thank you guys, and we look forward to a great week ahead.